Hello Cancer, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is your reading for August 2023. It's for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Just dropped a card. Hang on a second. I have to get it. The Mountain, speaking of some sort of block, delay, obstacle in your path. Now on the dice, Cancer, we have got the 8th house and we have got Saturn. So specifically, you might be dealing with issues around debts, obligations, finances, investments. It can be other people's resources, joint resources oftentimes if you have a partner, but it's also money you share with your bank, your insurance company, your pension provider, that sort of thing. It's usually this kind of chunky money house, but it can also flag up inheritances, which is, combined with death usually, and intimacy. Now with Saturn here, it does say that there's, some sort of issue. It might literally be a financial debt that you've taken on, or maybe even are considering taking on, that is going to be more onerous than you imagine. And if it's not you, it could be your partner that's dealing with some sort of issue in, around the 8th house. I sort of do feel it's about some sort of debt. Now, I will have to clarify this because I've got the Tower, the Page of Wands and the Four of Pentacles here. Now, initially, there is like some sort of shocking news coming through here. There's no two ways about it. Particularly this Page of Wands in my Witches Tarot deck is always, shocked about what they hear. There is communication with the Ace of Swords here. There is some understanding or clarity. And with the Four of Pentacles here, this is in relation to savings, savings and investment. Now, it may well be that there is some expense that kind of crops up here in the month of August that one really wasn't expecting. I have this feeling that it is in some way connected to health. That may be your health, your partner's health, your children's health. It might even be pets, okay? I just got a kind of furry animal feel about that. And as much as initially I think it might, that whatever this may be, it may be incredibly stressful, it may bring a lot of fear. This is my melodramatic card here, though. I'm sort of getting that vibe that someone may be overreacting to whatever this news is. It ultimately brings in some sort of healing, because I actually heard, Houston, we have a healing. I mean, there's some sort of surprising healing. Obviously, it can be healing, 5 of Pentacles in reverse. It can be physical, the physical body, or it can be someone's financial situation. And then we have the Four of Swords in the reverse. This card in its upright usually speaks of some sort of recuperation, rest, retreat, in this particular deck, again, it does have a specific meaning for me, and it's usually one of exhaustion, being tired of continually fighting the battles that I often do see her as the mother with umpteen kids, and, just a great deal to do. Worn out, but still standing sort of thing. And the fact that that is the trajectory and these two are in the upright leads me to believe that initially, although the news can be shocking, I actually think it might be really good. It might be really good. It might have been a long time coming, because then I heard Depeche Mode, I'm your own personal Jesus. Reach out and touch. Is it reach out and touch me? Reach out and touch someone. I'm your own personal Jesus. So I just think that there's like it is ultimately some sort of shocking news. It may leave someone in a bit of a head spin. There is a feeling of some sort of overreaction here in terms of what this is. But there is a healing. Houston, we have a healing. And we have got the vessel, which relates to the physical body, and then we have the healer. Now the healer's in reverse, and I sort of just feel that means it's not quite happened yet, or we're in the process of discovering what it is we need to discover. This can be somebody who's very gifted, it can be an old soul, but it can literally just be a doctor or a healer or a healing of some sort. This is something that has proved incredibly difficult, has maybe been a long time coming, and I'm just feeling there's some sort of breakthrough here. with the Ace of Swords. So I'm going to get you a bit of clarification, Cancer. Let's have a look. You've got your own personal Jesus. I'm going to use this deck. This is my combined Kipper and Lenormand deck. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at the Tower. The Tower for Cancer in August. Too many. The Tower for Cancer in August. Yeah, I've got the Heart. And the Coffin. And poverty here. So this can speak of some sort of emotional, loving relationship or feeling. Either something that's been like, you know, shut off and repressed. But it can also say that something has ending here. And that might be shocking for somebody. Yeah, I mean, this is really big, whatever it is. It's not a small loss. It's, you know, it's not small stress. There's definitely some shocking information coming through here. But I don't know why, Cancer. I just get this feeling that it's leading to something positive. Right, we have definitely got an issue around health here. We've got the bad health cards here. Now, that doesn't necessarily speak to physical health all the time. It can speak to the status of the communication, so to speak. A sort of feeling that, yeah, I mean, it's like it's not good news, but it's for the best. Yeah, I don't know yet what it is. Definitely not good news when this comes in. I do think it ultimately brings some sort of healing, you know. And this might be like one of my other readings where it certainly wasn't good news for somebody, but it was very good news for somebody else, you know, the two sides of the coin. It's something to do with somebody's health here. The Four of Pentacles, as I say, it might even be a pet. So this is holding on, saving for some sort of, maybe even a promise, you know, it's like an old savings account, or not necessarily old, it's a savings account or an investment. It's money for a rainy day. This is a feminine energy. Yeah, somebody's put like something away that's to be used at a specific time, you know, but only when it's absolutely necessary. So it might well be that something crops up here where savings and funds are having to be funneled, maybe earlier than someone had hoped, or maybe they'd hoped never to have to use it for this reason. And that in itself is bringing in a lot of stress. But it's almost like, you know, you're between a rock and a hard place here. You have to make a decision because there's something happening and it's happening quickly. This might even involve, let's have a look, hang on. Something needs to be cut out here, and that honestly could be an operation of some sort. I hate to say that, but again, I just don't feel it's negative, because my Four of Swords is in reverse and my Five of Pentacles is in reverse. These are both cards of recovery, you know. And I heard, Houston, we have a recovery. It's almost like quite surprising that things actually, you know, resolve themselves quicker or easier than anyone had anticipated here. There is some sort of pain and suffering going on here. It may be with an elder in your life, an older gentleman usually, but this can speak to any sort of age-related illness or, you know, disease, if you like. So there's a time here when somebody has to commit to a certain path here, and that is bringing in a lot of stress. But it's almost like, you know, what needs to be done is what we're going to do. So let's have a look at this Five of Pentacles reversed for Cancer. Five of Pentacles reversed for Cancer. I just feel with the Four of Pentacles upright and the Five of Pentacles reversed, that is my financial, physical recovery card. But in that interim period, some money has to be spent here, you know. Somebody's having to open up their purse here to deal with whatever this is. So Five of Pentacles, please, for Cancer reversed. That's the man. And the moon. And then we have the woman, the sun, and the book. So the sun is the best card in this deck. It's key information come through here. It might even be a diagnosis of some sort. The moon speaks of sometimes how we're seen. It's a card of reflection, intuition. But for me, it comes through as offers and rewards, recognition in some way. So there is, I feel, some sort of happy outcome here, but one that is not yet known to you. I don't know if you're the male or the female, or this is like a couple in your life. There are unknowns for sure, but there's ultimately some reward that is incredibly positive, but is not yet seen. Let's have a look at the Four of Swords for Cancer. Four of Swords reversed. Chunk. Four of Swords reversed. Okay, so we've got the Child, the Tower, and the dice. So I'm feeling it's like there's some sort of red tape here. This is some sort of, it's something new, or it's something small, or it's involving children with the child card, but it's also with the Tower being something to do with bureaucracy. The child is clarified by the child is most definitely a child. It's just not, it's not just something new. So I mean, this literally could be a pregnancy, something like that. You know, might be like a shocking pregnancy. It might be one where you had, like, you know, plans, or you didn't have plans just quite yet. But now you do, because somebody's pregnant, and that's what this announcement in the news is. You know, that is a wee bit like, I don't know if I'm getting that there might be some sort of trap here for somebody, you know, like they weren't expecting it to go down this route quite so quickly. But there is, yeah, there is an announcement. There's talk about this. It is bringing in some sort of stress. But there's also a feeling with the Tower card here that somebody is getting kind of like locked in, feeling trapped. Now that can be like someone is trapped, you know, because somebody falls pregnant, obviously, but it doesn't need to be that. It's just a case of maybe the timing isn't quite right, you know, you weren't planning on a pregnancy, for example. Or, you know, there is an expenditure involving children, basically. And there's news coming through that, you know, somebody is going to have to open their purse here and, you know, make plans, spend money, commit to something that they probably, it is going to be some sort of long-term debt, I would imagine, with the 8th house, you know. Just sort of feel it's coming in out of the blue. So a bit of a mixed bag, Cancer, you know. Ultimately there is some sort of healing coming through here, regardless as to what the story is. Expectation and house for Cancer. Too many. Expectation is the card of waiting, but it can be literally expecting a child, you know, and that's a gift, you know. Obviously it is. And there's the mother, the nurturer, the protector. I'm just feeling that whatever this is, and it obviously could be an unexpected pregnancy, which is going to involve expenses and an enormous change to how, you know, things are planned. It all works out for the best, you know. We have got the Three of Wands at the base of the deck here, which is a card of, you know, initial success. It's, you know, waiting on your ships coming in, but I always see it as a card of progress. With the Death card and the Page of Cups, there's the little kid there. I just think it's kind of like the, you know, if it, I really am getting this vibe that it's an unexpected pregnancy, that someone wasn't expecting to go down this route or this commitment or spend this money, whatever it may be at this point. It's ultimately a positive thing. It is something that is healing, but it is just the fact that it's kind of come out the blue and it's shocking, and initially sort of feels, you know, not hugely positive. But I honestly think, Cancer, that that, you know, this is like a maturing episode for somebody. Okay, let me take you some advice, Cancer, for this reading. Do let me know if it resonates. If you would like a personal reading, all my information is below. So Cancer, what advice do you have for Cancer for this reading? Wait for important information. Well, I mean, that's coming. And be devoted and committed, basically. You need to kind of sit tight with regards to whatever this is. There is information going to come through, and I think it is ultimately good news. I really genuinely do. I think either your or someone else's initial reaction might not be entirely the desired reaction, but I ultimately think it's incredibly positive. We have a healing of some sort. The Sage is about going the whole road and back again, being absolutely committed. And we do have the ring down here speaking of the same thing. This is locking in, you know. With Saturn is, you have to do the right thing. You have to be mature. You have to be responsible. You have to take on responsibility and, you know, obligations and, you know, do things the right way. Nose to the grindstone, all of that. That is literally, it's, you know, purpose. So yeah, I do think it's a good thing. I think somebody's having to maybe grow up and like mature or change tack a wee bit quicker than they possibly had hoped to, but I think it's all for the best. I genuinely do. Cancer, that is your reading. Have a great August. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.